are is dust in the wind, dude.
What's up, guys? Back at the shop. I have an update for you. This is good and bad, so we're just gonna get right into it. So we did complete tuning with the purple car. It is no longer on the dyno. It's back on the lift. Did complete the tuning, and it did make some jam. We were pretty happy with the results. As you can see, we got some pretty good numbers out of the car. Peak power was right there at almost 940 wheel horsepower. And on this pull, timing was like a measly 6 degrees of timing at peak torque. And I think I don't even know if it ramped up to 10. So the next pull, I threw a couple degrees of timing at it, also looking at the plugs and knowing that I was very, very safe on timing. And right here, 6,500 RPM, something popped. Sounded like it threw a charge pipe off the car, because this thing was blowing charge pipes off nonstop. So car still ran great, still revved fine. I shut it off. For a moment, thought I blew it up when they said a charge pipe didn't go off, so I fired it back up, revved it up, idled. Okay, so it's not blown up. So I look over the car, I couldn't find any charge pipes, couldn't find anything off. I end up doing a compression test, and cylinder 1 now had 135 PSI, and I've been doing compression tests every morning. After a day of tuning, every morning I'd come in, the car's cool, I would fire it up, let it warm up, get a little cylinder temp, and I would do a compression test. Just kind of, checking for my development, for my own peace of mind, how we're doing and how things are going. So I knew, a couple days of tuning up until this morning, they were all 150. So leak down is still fine, but compression on cylinder 1 is 135 and the rest are 150. So I ended up taking out my micrometer and setting it in the top of the cylinder on the spark plug recess and bringing up all the cylinders to TDC, and I noticed cylinder 1 showed that it was 2.5 millimeters shorter than the rest. So we either have the deck of the piston either sunk, which I'm sure that's not it, although that can happen, or, which I think the cause is I think the rod started to shrink, buckle, bend, shorten, collapse. Yeah, and how I came to that conclusion is I went down to VAC. The original person that built this motor, built this car, bought all their parts through VAC. And even though it was like 12 years ago, they did have everything on record, and they did see that the arrow rods in this engine, I just heard arrow rods, forged rods. I thought, cool, let's make all the power in the world. Well, apparently 12 years ago, these rods were made for light forced induction or road race. They were a forged rod that was then lightened for very fast revving engines, and this is a very fast revving engine. It's always been a fast revving engine, and it's kind of always impressed me. Now I know why. So while the car still runs fine, hearing that and knowing that, you know, and as a dyno operator and tuner and a shop, you know, you can't ignore these things, and unfortunately motor's got to come out of the car. Man, we're reminiscing today. So a long time ago, I built this setup right here, and you can see the bolts, you can see the hole pattern, and those. So that adapter bolts down to this. This is a hydraulic cart. That jack stand is there for a purpose, and we're going to use this setup to take that motor and trans from there out via that. And if all this goes playing correctly, I'm just gonna go into there and wheel my motor and trans, lower it, and wheel it away. So this is a setup that I built a long time ago, and it's pretty cool today getting to use it. So I'm gonna set the camera down and yeah, bring you guys along with me.